All right, let's go to a live call. We'll pick back up with our Irish bookkeeper. This is a long call, but very valuable. She has 2 common objections. I'll inject a couple of comments during the call.
So you've been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
How'd you get into the house cleaning business?
I'm actually natively good at it. I'm Irish, so that just makes us good at that. And
So you have to be from Ireland to be good at business. Is that what you're saying?
That's right, but we can't cook. So anyway, I don't know. It was just something I was good at, and it was a big demand up in the Bay Area, so it was a good business.
So are you from the Bay Area?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with the business that you did own?
I sold it. We actually moved to L.A., so I sold it.
Ah, got it. So you didn't want to stay in it and start it again down in L.A.?
Oh, no, I couldn't compete with the prices down here in the Bay Area. I could get away with a lot more, and I delivered a great product, but I couldn't compete with the wage down here. Yeah. And, it was time to move on. I'd done it, and that was enough.
Got it. So would you have any reason to look at anything outside of what you're currently doing?
In what regard? What do you mean?
Have you ever put it out there or thought about it? Hey, you know what? I would like to own my own business again, or that I would like to achieve something else other than what you're able to achieve currently being a bookkeeper or anything like that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I probably gave it 5 minutes thought and went back to work.
5 minutes, huh? That's all you gave it.
Well, actually, I've tried a few things, and you just got to keep that steady money coming in. So I pretty much rely on what I know is going to do it.
Yeah. So when you say you try other things, what else have you tried?
Let's see. I think I tried selling vitamins at one point, and water filters, and
through network marketing?
Through multi-level marketing.
So you through multi-level marketing.
Right.
So here comes the first step of the objection remedy. Currently, we don't know if this is an objection or not, but we still follow the same procedures to investigate.
So how was your experience with that? What was it?
Terrible.
Terrible?
You go to the places and you see the people making the big money, and you get all excited, and then you maybe get some product and try to tell a few people, and then I don't know, maybe it was what I said. I don't know. I mean, I saw other people doing it, but I just figured out it was just not my personality. So
what happened to the whole Irish thing?
What do you mean? They're good at cleaning, not selling.
Oh, that's so funny.
When's the last time you bought something Irish,
So we have a double objection here, both the sales objection and the MLM objection. I'm going to try to get deeper into this, and so I'm going to ask her the same question, just slightly different. Here we go.
So tell me what happened with that. In looking back, what do you think what really went on there?
It's just, to me, when I'm interested in something, or maybe I'm easy, I don't know, but you watch like QVC on television, or you see something and you go, that's great, and I'm willing to try that product, especially if it does something beneficial. So maybe I'm an easy sell, I don't know, but I figured other people, if I like something, then they should like it too, or some people would, a percentage at least. And then when maybe it was the words I used, or, I explained it, and I'm like, so you want to try it? And they'd say no, and I go, okay. And that was it. So.
You didn't drop dead or anything?
No, but I was sure at a loss for words a lot of times. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still fishing around to see if I can find anything else that she's opposed to. Right now, it appears that her biggest issue is sales, but I'm going to keep digging.
And so you kind of experienced the same thing with water filters.
Oh yeah, and then I went to their houses, and it was just, I don't know. I just figured sales is not for me. Is that what you're doing? I mean, are you trying to do something here?
Yes, this is network marketing.
Oh no.
Oh no. Is that a bad word?
Well, with all due respect, Anyway, why don't you go and tell me what you need?
All
What do you
right.
need?
Well, what I want to find out, number one, if when you look back and you see a bad experience with selling vitamins and you see a bad experience with water purifiers,
Mm-hmm.
does that bad experience equal I'm not good in sales?
Right.
Does that bad experience equal network marketing is bad? Does that bad experience equal vitamins are bad or water purifiers are bad? Or, in other words, what I'm trying to first see is what's the bad thing, or is it all just bad?
Well, yeah, it is kind of a blur and bad right now. I mean, the products weren't bad. Other people seemed to be a little bit more successful. I just figured I can't sell. You know, I can't. I'm just a terrible salesperson.
And so you're married.
I am.
Do you wonder why I asked that?
Completely.
It's because you obviously sold him,
Okay.
right?
Probably.
You obviously are able to sell, all right? You know, you get clients as a bookkeeper, and the only way you can get clients is to sell yourself.
Okay, well, I didn't think of it that way.
Right. And most people don't. On the network marketing front, if you don't mind, if I can just ask a question.
All right, I feel comfortable that I've gotten all of her objection, so now I'm going to start the handling of the MLM objection.
Do you feel network marketing actually works? Not for you, but just does it itself work?
I have no idea. And how is that different from multi-level marketing?
I'm not communicating within her vocabulary. Fortunately, she told me she didn't know that word.
I am so sorry. I have given you a confusing word. All right. Multi-level marketing, the acronym of MLM, is the same as network marketing. The only difference is the different way to look at it. Multi-level marketing is describing that you get paid on multiple levels of income. Right? That's what you remember, right?
Well, gosh, maybe I wasn't even educated in that. You're enlightening me now. Okay.
All right. And network marketing just looks at it from a different angle. And network marketing is that there is a group of people or a cluster of people who all share a common interest, and they market inside of that network. And, you know, like the analogy would be if you go to a restaurant that was recommended by somebody, just like I'm calling you because I asked Sue, who do you know who might be interested in working on a project with me? And so you basically market inside of a network. And so that's where the term network marketing comes from. It's just the difference of one of those descriptions is talking about somebody gets paid, and the other one is talking about how you market, but they are the same exact industry.
Huh. Okay.
All right?
So I'm sorry, then what was your the other
I have
question?
no idea.
Okay.
What I asked was that, and I will use your terminology now, and so that way that I don't confuse you anymore.
All right, I feel comfortable that I've gotten all of her objection, so now I'm going to start the handling of the MLM objection.
But does multi-level marketing work? Not for you, just does it work by itself?
Oh, gosh, I mean, to give you an honest answer, I don't know. I mean, I think, Herbalife is still around. I don't know, honestly.
I'm actually glad this came up because I've not taught you how to handle it if someone replies that they don't know if the industry works or not. Pay close attention to how I handle this.
Okay.
I haven't looked at it in years.
Let me just back it up a little bit, and we'll take the individual components of it and say, do people need products and services?
Of course.
All right, very good. And so from there, have you ever recommended someone to do something?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we know that marketing, in terms of by word of mouth marketing, does work.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess in that regard, yeah.
Okay. We know that in any kind of a business or anything that you want to get into, that you normally need to receive training from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to work for a company, the company says we're going to send you to school, or you're going to be trained by so-and-so. And in network marketing, it's just the person who brings you into the business is the person that trains you. Right? So kind of like all the components that are in normal businesses are also in network marketing. and there's about $30 billion a year of goods and services that move through network marketing. And so when I asked the question, I just wanted to see whether or not you had this big, huge network marketing is the devil. And no, it doesn't work. It'll never work. And, I don't care if it, in other words, I wanted to see, one is, can you look at it logically? That's really, does it work as an industry?
Well, I guess now, see, here, you brought up a good point. I didn't have anyone telling me how to do it. I mean, I just had someone sign me up, and that was it.
Aha.
So that wasn't in my network marketing. I thought that's just what you do. You sign them up, and then that's it.
And so you just threw a pack of vitamins in your backpack, and you went out, and you were like, well, it's got to work. And
right.
It didn't.
Maybe some paperwork involved, and you get papers or brochures, and that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Would you say that in looking back, all right, so number one, we can now like just see that the whole industry, as an industry, it works.
I'm about to ask the second question in handling the MLM objection.
What does it take, do you think, for it to work for an individual?
Certain character.
A character.
Yeah, and then
from Ireland or not from Ireland?
Well, I guess that's not fair, huh? Well, maybe it is the learning curve or the yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people are good at sales. Like my husband reads every sales book that comes out, or I can name you authors, and even though I haven't read them, just because he has so many books. So there must be something to it.
Yeah. So let me see about this the whole marketing and sales and things like that. What do you view that it takes to actually like influence another person?
Passion, with what conviction of what you believe to be true. Getting through barriers of any false ideas they may have, and then giving them the true idea of what something is, or having them try it, because what's true for you might be not true for them, and things like that.
And you don't think you're good in sales after what you just said? In other words, either you're listening to what your husband says off of these books or something, or you just intuitively kind of like capture that. And see, and what I think is different is that I said, what do you think it takes to communicate to somebody? And see, and as soon as I took the word sales out of that and put it to a word of communicate, you like said, oh, well, it takes this and this and this and this. See, what I said is what does it take to influence someone?
Right. Well, yep. I thought that, yeah, okay.
Catherine, what I wanted you to see is that if you kind of look at sales as being, all right, so I am going to convince this person to buy these vitamins, right? Mm-hmm. If you view it that way, that person doesn't want the vitamins, and so you then say, well, I failed at it. Then that can obviously leave an extremely bad taste in your mouth.
Totally.
But it really is just nothing more than communication. Whether you are talking to your husband about that you want to go to see a movie tonight and he would rather go do something else tonight with you, it's just conversation, it's just communication, right? Mm-hmm. But what if you call somebody as a bookkeeper, you were to say, do you do your own bookkeeping? At this point, do you think you're selling something?
Do you do your own bookkeeping? Yeah, I would, because it's obviously you're leading up to something.
All right. You could also say you're just communicating and you're just wanting to find out whether or not this person needs a bookkeeper.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So it can be selling or it can be just communicating, because there's no other way for you to actually ask this person if you can be their bookkeeper. You're going to have to either communicate or sell. It doesn't, however you say it, it's still the same actions.
I guess so. Now.
Yeah. If you called me and said, hey, Tim, Sue gave me your number, and she says that you might need a bookkeeper. I wanted to find out, do you do your own books or do you have a bookkeeper? Okay? Mm-hmm. You're selling or you're communicating is the same thing, right?
Right.
All right. So why is it that some people are good at this and some people are not?
Because they know what to say next and to keep the person interested and not getting that pre-concluded idea without being able to get the argument out of your mouth or something like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before they cut you off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I have experienced is that I have been successful at it, and I pride myself that the reason that I have been successful at it is because I really care about the person that I'm actually talking to, whether it's that I'm selling a product or whether I am talking to somebody about the business. I really genuinely care about that person. And so the first thing that I do is just like what you would do when you're looking for a bookkeeper is you would say, are you in the market for a bookkeeper? Just like I said to you, would you have any reason to look at a business? So that's the first thing I want to find out, right? And if the person doesn't have an interest, then I'm not going to continue on talking, right? I'm not going to try to like force them.
Right.
If I am selling a vitamin, then I would say something like, do you take vitamins? And they say no. And I say, what's the number one reason that you don't take vitamins? And they say, well, because I don't believe that they work. All right, well, I've got a choice right there as to whether or not I want to help that person understand that vitamins do help and they do work, or I just move on. Right? I haven't said I have a product. I've only asked them, do you take a vitamin? And the other thing that I think has been the reason that I am successful is because I take the time to actually, kind of communicate these ideas to people. And so when I do bring somebody into my network marketing business, I train them the same way. Do you feel as though that if you had the training?
This is a key question right here.
In other words, these ideas that I've just given you, if you had gotten these earlier in your MLM experience, do you think you would have had a better shot at success?
Well, definitely. Here you've got me on the phone for, 25 minutes? And
I'm sorry?
Not exactly not busy, but you know what I mean?
You want to send me a bill? You probably should.
Usually the fact is you're Sue's friend and everything, and that's good. So I wouldn't hang up on you. Not that I'd be rude to anybody, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously you're good at communication. But yeah, I guess if I had your skills, definitely I think I'd do better at it, definitely.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a test question if you don't mind.
Okay.
Do you think I was born with these skills?
Well, it sounds like it.
It sounds like it. Okay, so that means that if you had been the nurse when I came out of my mom, and you were the one that smacked me on my bottom, and I screamed bloody murder, would you have said at that time, he's a born communicator?
Not necessarily, because that's probably what everybody does.
That's right. That's right. At what point do they become born speakers or born communicators or born salespeople?
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Would you be at all open to looking at something that I could send you that has absolutely nothing to do with my company? It only has to do with the industry itself. It was written by someone successful in the industry, as well as a gentleman from Harvard who actually teaches network marketing at a major university. And so there's no hype in this. There's not promotion of any company. It just explains the industry. Would you be open to receiving that from me?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds fine. There's probably more I could know.
Now that invite was out of sequence, and if I had this call to do over again, I wouldn't have done that. The error I committed is that I didn't do the fifth and final step of the questions and objections remedy, which was to complete the handling and return to the previous step of the inviting formula. See, I was in the qualifying step when the objection came up, and I got distracted by the fact that she was really following me, and so I went straight for the invite. The fact that she accepted my invite doesn't matter, because here I sit and I don't know why she would look at a business. The qualifying step hasn't been completed.
I appreciate that, and what I'd like to do is to have you look at it, now that we kind of like cleaned out the past a little bit, because if you just, Catherine, if you just think about it, if you ate a bad meal at a restaurant, it doesn't mean that you're never going to eat again.
Right.
Right? Just because you had a bad experience, or you're in your case too, in network marketing, doesn't mean that the whole multi-level marketing, it doesn't mean that the whole industry doesn't work.
Well, this is true.
What is it that you would actually like to achieve if you had just forget for a little bit that, what you do and things like that. If you just were able to create whatever amount of money and time that you could, what is it that you would actually do with it?
Probably, truthfully, I would do more art and then volunteer work.
More art.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what the first thing you said there?
Yeah.
What kind of art?
Fine art.
Fine art.
Yeah, drawing, painting.
Oh. Do you do that?
If I have time.
What do you like about doing that?
You kind of lose yourself in it, and you can make something pretty or not, and it can be very humbling. And then it's just when you do something that you pull off, it's just so satisfying. And my mom has a house full; she just loves it. So I love art. Period.
All right.
Yeah.
And the other one you said was volunteer work.
Yeah, for my church.
For your church.
Yeah, like a lot of people. If I didn't have to go here, there's some trouble in Florida, as you know, with the hurricanes, and there's a lot of people that are calling people to arms and everything like that, and I can't go because I don't have the wherewithal to just leave.
Wow. What a good cause.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
You're a good person.
Thanks.
You really are. I sincerely mean that. In other words, there's a whole lot of things that people can say that they want, and that's just that is totally awesome that you'd want to do that.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So you can tell that I've spent some time in California, huh? With the totally awesome.
Oh, right. I guess I've been here long enough where I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I am back on the East Coast right now, but I actually spend quite a bit of time in California as well.
Oh, great.
Well, I tell you what. If I can get your address, I am going to send you a DVD. Do you have a DVD player?
Yes.
All right. What address would you like for me to send this to?
561.
All right. What's your last name, Catherine? Okay.
With an E.
All right. And I will send this out to you just as soon as we get off the phone. I'll send it out to you priority mail. And so let's see. This is Friday. You'll probably get it on Monday or Tuesday. When do you think you'll get a chance to look at it if you were to get it on Monday or Tuesday?
Probably within that week, Just give me that week.
That week,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you want to talk on maybe Friday, next Friday?
Sure, that sounds fine.
All right. And when's the best time to reach you? And I won't spend this much time next time, I promise.
That's fine. Actually, it's been fun. Probably around the same time, late afternoon.
All right. So should I call you like 3 o'clock?
That sounds good.
All right. I have you for next Friday at 3 o'clock that I will call you. And is this the best number to reach you on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I sure look forward to your feedback, and I appreciate your you opening up and like really talking to me and everything. It's really, really helpful, and I'm glad to have met you.
Yeah, me too. I'll tell Sue.
All right.
All right, Tim.
Well, thanks so much, Catherine.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, as you could tell, I did fulfill the qualifying step at the end there. It was out of sequence, but I did find out what she wants. It was a good call for you to hear how to handle two common objections, the sales objection and the MLM objection. All right, the next objection is not a common one, but sometimes people get it confused, and you may get it. If they ask the question about pyramids, like, is this one of those illegal pyramids, and they use the word illegal in it, then I recommend you respond with, absolutely not. Pyramids are illegal. I wouldn't waste my time or yours on something illegal. What I'm discussing is a legitimate business. Return to whichever step on the inviting formula you were on prior to this step. Make sure you get them to see Brilliant Compensation, though. The next objection I want to discuss with you is not really a question or objection, but rather it's when the prospect is not interested. When your prospect is not interested, you have to be able to accept it. Remember, your job is to help people. If you're trying to force someone, you're not helping them. If you do the greet and qualify steps correctly, you will have prevented most not interested prospects from getting this far simply because they wouldn't have qualified. Most of the time when you get the I'm not interested response, it will be after you have had them look at information or they've asked if it's network marketing and you were not able to get them beyond the objection. When you can tell that your prospect has definitively decided they're not interested, you must accept it and have your prospect feel good about telling you that. you'll find that the majority of your prospects will not have the guts to actually tell you no. They most often prefer to avoid talking to you. This is pretty shallow, but that's my experience. So when someone does have the guts to tell you they're not interested, accept it and admire the fact that they are a cut above the majority. I have witnessed a single no from a prospect cause network marketers to quit their business, totally give up on their dreams. I have also witnessed a no cause networkers to be destroyed all day, all week, and sometimes longer, simply because the networker hasn't learned how to deal properly with a "I'm not interested." I've also witnessed the violent reaction of a networker towards her family saying no, which yielded two siblings not speaking to one another since. All of this is handled with you learning to accept "I'm not interested." Now, I've also seen where a prospect says they're not interested, but it's just a mask for an unexpressed objection. You will develop the skill for being able to flush out these unexpressed objections the more people you talk to. You will develop the ability to read your prospects. When you really listen to your prospect, instead of trying to figure out what to say, you'll hear all they say, even if they don't actually say it. An example of this happened to me not too long ago, and the person was trying to hurry me to get to the point. I hadn't really gotten anything out when he just said, "I'm not interested." Now, at that point, I knew there was nothing he could be not interested in, as I hadn't told him anything yet. So I just said, "Sir, if you're not interested, I will completely accept that, but I've not really said anything about it yet. Did I catch you at a bad time?" He immediately calmed down and said, "You know what? That's really it. I've got fires going on all over the place here, and I really shouldn't have picked up the phone. And then I didn't want to be rude and say I couldn't talk. And so I was even ruder by saying I'm not interested." I replied with, "Well, I greatly appreciate you telling me that. Why don't I just call you sometime when you put the fires out?" He thanked me and we hung up. So when I give you the lines I use when someone is not interested, I'm not giving you permission to abandon someone who needs your help getting past their bug. But when they have reviewed something and have made a definitive decision not to participate, then you need to allow them that decision, and you need to accept that decision. Let's do a live call with Lynn the singer. Lynn had experienced network marketing before. Listen to her make a definitive statement and how I then allowed her to feel good about her decision, and then how the call turned out because of that.
I like doing what I do. I don't like dealing with business. I have to deal with the business of singing, to push that forward, but it's like,
Yeah.
I just don't want to get involved in other business. I see the potential. I just want to focus on doing it in the arena that I'm doing it in. That's where my heart is, where my passion is, my calling, what I feel like doing. And maybe down the line when I free up some time and I can think about it, then maybe I'd want to look into it because I see the value in, for creating another stream of income or something like that. But
Sure.
and helping people, do say. But at this point, I want to help people the way I've been helping them and focus on that.
And you do that so well.
Oh.
And so really, conversation over as it relates to network marketing. I respect you in a tremendous way and your ability to sing and your passion and what you deliver to people. And that's what you should do. When I opened up the conversation, what I said is that if you're happy with what you're doing and you're heading down the track, then I don't want to take you off that. But if there is something that you're interested in, something that I could help you with, then I would want to do that. But you're focused, girl. And I love it. Please keep your head down and remember that you knew me back when you were singing on a boat with wet hair and
and us swimming to shore and back, and you teaching me about swimming for the triathlon and everything.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We
Forget
jumped
you.
in that freezing cold water.
Can't ever forget that. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you thinking of me, and I appreciate you, letting me know about it, but also honoring how I feel. So thank you very much for that, Tim.
Oh, you're so welcome. And so you are going on tour. You're going to be heading to Japan.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yep.
Wow. Well, adios.
Yeah, right. Or sayonara.
Yeah. Well, you knock 'em dead, and we'll talk again.
You got it. Thanks so much, Tim.
Oh, you bet. Take good care.
You too. Much love.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Could you hear how definitive her decision was? then how I backed her decision, and then how I made small talk and ended the conversation in an upbeat mood, this is the correct way to accept a person who is not interested. After you do this a few times, you will actually enjoy doing this, because it will mean something definitive to you also. It's not someone hanging out there undone. And the prospect will appreciate it too, because they can let go of it. I'll touch on this a little bit more in follow-up. All right, so let me give you the lines I use. Sue, I enjoyed talking with you. I understand that you're not interested based on whatever they said. Now, in some situations, you can ask to stay in touch with them. It really just depends on the situation. Here's what you say when you feel it is appropriate. Sue, in case your situation changes, can I stay in touch? Not bug you, but maybe send you an email in a month or so? And then get their response. What is your email address? Let me repeat that back to you, and then do so. All right, Sue, have a wonderful evening. I look forward to working with you in the future if your situation changes. Bye-bye. Sometimes it doesn't come to that nice of an ending. If you feel you've upset your prospect, I recommend you say something like this. Sue, I'm sorry I've upset you. That was not my intent. In fact, it was just the opposite. I wanted to help. It's probably best we drop the discussion. End the call or make small talk and end in an upbeat mood. Now, the final thing I want to discuss with you on the subject of questions and objections is what I call the disaster call. I hope you never need the contents of what I'm about to say, but I want you to know how to deal with a disaster call if it ever happens. What is a disaster call? Well, when you say something and the person goes nuclear on you. Most often it occurs because someone's bad experience with MLM. Here, you're not trying to salvage the prospect signing up with you. You're trying to salvage the relationship. Step 1. Validate everything they say. Do not interrupt them or disagree with them no matter how ridiculous their statements, even if they're attacking you. Your response should sound something like this. I understand. I completely understand. I can see how that would upset you. Oh my, that's terrible. I can see that experience left a bad taste in your mouth. If they keep going, you keep going, with increased intensity. Oh, yuck! I can't believe that! Did you take a Tommy gun into the headquarters and shoot everyone? You really want to validate everything they say. Step 2. Take the responsibility for upsetting them. Drop the discussion. I don't recommend you try to drop the discussion before they've vented, though. This is important for them. Here's an example of how to apologize. I apologize for upsetting you with my excitement. I think it's best to just drop this discussion. I really wish you the very best, and again, I'm sorry I brought it up. Step 3. Find simple things you can agree on. Like, how is the weather there? What are your kids into these days? How is your golf game? Did you watch the football game Saturday? Step 4. End the call on an upbeat mood. Do not ask to stay in touch with them on the subject. If you get off the call in an upbeat mood, you have greatly succeeded and should be very happy with the outcome. Again, I hope you don't have to use that, but I've had to deal with it a couple of times and wanted you to know how to handle it if it ever appears on your radar. That concludes the questions and objections section of the inviting formula. Now let's move to close to action. Part 5 of the inviting formula is close to action. The conclusion of the phone call is called close to action. Optimally, the end of the phone call comes immediately following the invite. If there are questions and objections that interrupt the close to action, handle the question or objection and then move immediately back to the close to action. The close to action step's purpose is to conclude or complete what is currently being said or done and then put it into existence. Put what into existence? Your prospect's needs, wants, and don't wants. Up until this point, the conversation has been potential or possible need, want, don't wants. Now we make it really happen. What we have to do is create agreeable steps to move the prospect towards what they've stated they need, want, or don't want and conclude the conversation. If you just think about it, two people talk about doing something. For that to actually happen, meaning for it to really happen, you have to actually do something. That's really the purpose of the close to action step. It puts the important items discussed into action. Think back to the qualify step where you found out that your prospect wants some things that she doesn't have yet. You're going to help her get them. The close to action step is allocating responsibilities for who will do what to put this plan into action. You're going to do some things and she's going to do some things. The nitty-gritty of the close to action is to get her to agree to do her part. which is normally to view some information or meet you at a specific place at a specific time. All of this you do for the purpose of getting her closer to what she says she wants. If she wants to send her parents on a month-long anniversary cruise, then we need to do some things that will get her mom and dad on the boat. In allocating these responsibilities, you need to be as specific as possible without being neurotic, of course. Something like this. All right, let's make this happen. You're going to check on the availability and price of 3 cruise ships. I'm going to send you this online movie in an email just as soon as we hang up. You're going to watch it, then we'll plan to talk again tomorrow. You good with that plan? So all I did was conclude, verbalize the plan, and got her agreement. One more step we need to do on the close to action step is to plan the next time we will talk. This is putting a complete by date and time. Let me pick back up at the end of that conversation and continue through the planning of the next time we will talk. I'm going to send you this online movie as soon as we hang up. You're going to watch it, and then we'll plan to talk again tomorrow. You good with all that? She replies, yes. Good. So what's a good time for us to talk tomorrow? She says, about this same time tomorrow. I say, good. 7:30 works for me also. Then I ask, you'll have had time to watch the video by then, right? Yeah, I'll watch it as soon as we get off the phone. To that I say, excellent. Then I'll talk to you at 7:30 tomorrow, and we hang up. That last step is to narrow down the time we'll talk so that it's an appointment. See, whatever one wants to create, a great marriage, a great son, a great table if you're a woodworker, or a perfect lawn, or a great networker, requires that you create a plan and work the plan. You continually put into the future your plan towards creating that thing which you desire. And you are the teammate that is going to help this prospect create this thing which they desire and have not been able to create yet. The way to accomplish this is to create a plan, give them the first part of the plan, have them agree to it, and then do it. Then give them more of the plan, have them agree to it, and do it. And then give them more of the plan until they have this thing they want. That's what you do as a professional networker. All right. Obviously, the specific responsibilities that need to be divided will depend on whether you're sending something to them in the mail, email, or meeting them in person, or having them join a conference call. Basically, you're going to send them something, so you'll need to get any information from them you need to do that. They are going to view something, so you will need to clear out anything that prevents that. So if they don't have a computer, you don't send them the online movie. You send them the VHS video or the DVD. You get the picture? I'm going to run down a list of things, not that I expect you to remember them, but a way of deepening your understanding about what the close to action step is supposed to accomplish. So here's just a few things in general you would want to think about with the close to action step. If you're sending them something via email, you obviously will need their email address. In addition, you may want to ask them if they need to whitelist your email address. Whitelisting is when someone has a spam filter on their email account that will not let anyone's email be delivered if the email address is not in their contact file. To put someone on your whitelist, one simply goes into their email spam filter and enters the email address of the person they wish to approve. Then they can receive email from them, which is you. Something else that's nice to do is tell your prospect when they should receive the movie. Whether you're sending it VHS video, a DVD, or an online movie, always give them an idea of when they can expect it. As you learned earlier, I like to get an idea of when they will watch the movie. I want their agreement to a follow-up date and time after they would have watched the movie. You need to know what phone number to use when you call him or her back. When meeting someone face-to-face, you will need the location of the meeting place. Send them map and directions when required. The specific spot you will meet them, like at the front door or in the restaurant. Where to park, dress code, any charges that may be associated, like parking, lunch, door costs, anything like that. Exchange cell phone numbers in case something changes and to ensure you can find each other. Here's an example. All right, I have your address and I will send this VHS video out priority mail today, so you should receive it in 3 days or less. Today is Saturday, so you'll probably get it by Wednesday. But let's add a day in there for safe measure. Want to talk on Thursday? Would you have watched it by then? Prospect says, yeah, I would have watched it by then. Good. So when is a good time for us to talk on Thursday? About this same time, 2 p.m. That works for me as well. All right, I will call you Thursday at 2 p.m. and we'll discuss what you've learned from the movie. Is it a date? Yes. And is this the best number to reach you on Thursday? Yes, I'll be here all day. Okay, Sue, I look forward to talking to you Thursday at 2 p.m. Bye.
Well, I tell you what, If I can get your address, I am going to send you a DVD. Do you have a DVD player?
Yes.
All right. What address would you like for me to send this to?
561.
All right. What's your last name, Catherine? Okay.
With an E.
All right. And I will send this out to you just as soon as we get off the phone. I'll send it out to you priority mail. And so let's see, this is Friday. You'll probably get it on Monday or Tuesday. When do you think you'll get a chance to look at it if you were to get it on Monday or Tuesday?
Probably within that week, Just give me that week.
That week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you want to talk on maybe Friday? Next Friday?
Sure. That sounds fine.
All right. And when's the best time to reach you? And I won't spend this much time next time, I promise.
That's fine. Actually, it's been fun. Probably around the same time, late afternoon.
All right. So should I call you like 3 o'clock?
That sounds good.
All right. I have you for next Friday at 3 o'clock that I will call you. And is this the best number to reach you on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I sure look forward to your feedback, and I appreciate your you opening up and like really talking to me and everything. It's really, really helpful, and I'm glad to have met you.
Yeah, me too. I'll tell Sue.
All right.
All right, Tim.
Well, thanks so much, Catherine.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you have something to write with?
Yeah, I do.
It is www.
I'm sorry, hold on. I posted notes not cooperating. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
www.
Mm-hmm.
.explorefreedom.com.
Okay.
/Trump, Trump, as in Donald.
So he's sponsoring this, huh?
No.
Okay.
And read that back to me, make sure you got it.
www.explorefreedom.com /Trump.
All right. And when you get to there, you'll see my ugly mug on the right-hand side. I actually am dressed a little nicer than I was at the gym.
Probably not nearly as sweaty either, but okay.
That's right. All right, and on the left-hand side, there's going to be 2 movie links. One is How the Wealthy Got That Way, which is really cool. It's about 10 minutes, and you can just take a look at that one. But the one that I want to talk to you about is the one called Brilliant Compensation. It's the link right underneath How the Wealthy Got That Way.
Okay.
When do you think you'll get a chance to take a look at that?
Let's see. Between weekly activities for the troops this weekend, probably Monday. I can probably take a look at it during my lunch break.
All right. When would be a good time for us to talk after Monday? Are you off on Monday? No, you're off on Fridays, you said.
Right, every other Friday. No, I'm not. But you could probably reach me on my lunch hour on Tuesday.
Okay, and what time would that be?
11:15.
11:15 on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And what number should I call?
Area code 6. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, very good, Tisha. I enjoyed talking to you, and you're going to take a look at that, and I will call you at exactly 11:15 on Tuesday.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
As you can tell, these close-to-action sections of the live calls all pretty much go the same. When you hear them back-to-back like I've played them, they pretty much sound verbatim. Guess what? They almost are. That's what makes the scripts proven. I'm confident that you know what a close-to-action is supposed to sound like when done correctly. This next call is with Madison, the lady who responded to an advertisement in the sales and marketing section of the newspaper. We'll pick this call up right after I ask her the question, "Are you afraid of straight commission?" If you remember, I played this live call for you in the qualify section of the inviting formula as I was teaching you to control conversations. I'm going to let this one play all the way through to the close to action, but the main reason I'm playing it is that there are a few valuable conversations I have with her based on her questions. Normally, salespeople are much more used to talking to people, and so they ask more questions, and I wouldn't want to miss an opportunity to pass this valuable information on to you. Enjoy this one.
And make a lot of money. Okay, 4 things.
Should we leave the tab open?
Yes, please.
You can add something more later?
Exactly.
Okay, good. All right.
So
well,
what is this product? What does the job entail?
The reason Madison was able to get that question in there is that I erred in general tip number 6, which states, end in a question or your prospect will.
basically working with a device with a consumer. And so you'd be interacting with a consumer in a sales type of a position, and then on a sales development training as well, further on down the road. Would you be completely afraid of straight commission?
No, I've worked on straight commission before. Obviously, I'd like to see what the numbers look like, and so forth. But no, I'm not completely opposed to that. No.
Because I'm a lot like you in the sense that I like to make my own hours, and I've always scratched my head to organizations that want to say, you have to be here between the hours of blankety blank. And I prefer to say, we've got a job to get done. This is the job, and if you get it done in 2 hours, then go. As opposed to stay here all day and drag out whatever it is that we give you to do, make sure it takes 8 hours to accomplish it. And constructing any type of compensation, a company has the opportunity to say, we're going to pay salary plus a commission. And what we have found over time, if we pay enough on the commission side of things, then we naturally are going to attract the most ambitious people. Those are going to be the people who are actually going to do it. Where we bring somebody in salary plus commission, then there's going to be 2 or 3 months of evaluation time where we have paid out a salary and we've evaluated this person, and let's suppose that we get somebody who doesn't sell anything for 3 months. Then we basically paid them a salary for 3 months for us to test whether or not that person can produce and sell or not. What we prefer to do is put somebody on straight commission, and we just pay them a lot. If you can do it, then you're going to make a ton of money. If you can't do it, you won't like us at all. So.
Now, is the training that you were talking about working with somebody, is it already in place, or what? I know you're talking about a product and consumer, but I'm curious. How do I find out more about this, I guess is what I'm asking.
I think I know what you're asking. Is the training in place?
Yeah, in other words, is there training in place that's going to it's going to guarantee that if I learn it the best that I can, will I make the kind of money I'm looking to make, and obviously what does that money look like? So.
All right, good. Is the training in place? Yes, it is.
Okay.
As detailed as one needs to be.
Good.
From very basic level all the way on up. And so training, yes, it is absolutely there. That's the reason that in the job description I said that there would be human development and training involved in your position, because when you get very well trained, it's only fair somebody trains you, and so we want you to be able to train other people when they come in. And so that is part of your job description as well.
Okay.
All right. So what I'd like to do, if it's okay with you, Madison, is that I would like for you to review some stuff over the Internet. It's actually a movie. You have Internet access, I presume?
I do, yeah.
Okay. And I'd like to have you review this, and then you and I will talk again. The first one is just merely an overview. Nothing specific about product or device or anything like that. This is just specific to the method of business that we do.
That would be great.
You have something to write with?
I do.
All right. It's www.explorefreedom.com.
Okay. Explorefreedom.com. Okay.
Yeah. /Trump. TRUMP, as in Donald.
Okay. I like that. Okay. Explorefreedom.com /Trump.
Good.
Okay.
All
great.
right. So when do you think you'll get a chance to take a look at it?
I can look at it right now.
All right. So should we plan to talk in maybe 30 minutes or so? Let's just say for safe an hour.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, good. All right. So I call you back on this same number that I reached you here?
Yeah.
All right. I'll call you back in 1 hour, so that would make it at about, let's say, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock now, so yeah. Perfect. Okay, good. I'll talk to you then.
Very good.
Bye-bye,
Madison.
Bye-bye.
One last thing I'd like to draw your attention to on the close to action step you may have noticed. I never try to move the prospect's date or time for when they will watch the movie. I've heard people altering my script to something like this: when in the next 24 hours will you watch this movie? I don't do that, and I don't recommend you do that. The reason I don't is because of communication quality number 1. Be interested in your prospect. If my prospect says she'll watch the movie this week, and I try to move her to something earlier, why would I be trying to do that? Because I have product volume requirements I have to meet. But that's not me being interested in my prospect. Me being interested in my prospect means if she says, give me a week to watch the movie, I say, okay, today is Saturday. When should I call you next Saturday? If my prospect says, I'll watch it now, I say, okay, shall I call you back in an hour? Always be interested in your prospect. That concludes everything on how to close your prospect to action. Let's now go to follow up and follow through.
Professional Inviter recordings and transcripts are copyright 2004 by Up Statistics Corporation. Any unauthorized translation, duplication, importation, or distribution is a violation of applicable laws and will be prosecuted to the full extent